Over the course of the sixth season of 1,000-Pound Sisters, Amy Slaton and Tammy Slaton intended to have a night out with their friends, but the evening ended up being a major altercation between the two ladies. Amy, who is 37 years old, and Tammy, who is 38 years old, have always been on very separate paths, but recently they have been growing even further apart than they normally would. Back in the year 2020, when the show first aired, the sisters lived in close proximity to one another. Prior to Amy's marriage to Michael Halterman, they had been living together. After that, Tammy moved in next door where they had been living. During that time period, the sisters weighed a total of 1,000 pounds, which is where the show received its name. The evening got off to a good start when Amy and Tammy hired a limousine and went out for the evening. Celebrating their remarkable weight loss milestones was something that the stars of the sixth season of 1,000-Pound Sisters were looking forward to. There had been a lot of progress made by both sisters since they made their debuts on television in the year 2020, and they were eager to let loose and enjoy a night out in Kentucky. Up until the point where a burlesque lesson brought up a lot of uncomfortable issues for the sisters, they were having a fantastic time. The battle between Amy and Tammy felt unusual, despite the fact that they are not strangers to arguing. It demonstrated that Amy and Tammy are becoming more and more apart from one another. Characteristics of Amy and Tammy's relationship: it is common for Amy and Tammy to refer to themselves as Irish twins. This is a word that is used to describe sisters who were born not more than 1 year apart from one another. The fact that they were raised in different houses has brought them much closer to one another, despite the fact that they have 3 other siblings. The 3 Slaton siblings, Chris Combs, Amanda Halterman, and Misty Wentworth, are all significantly older than Amy and Tammy, despite the fact that the entire family is quite close-knit. Chris Combs is 44 years old, Amanda Halterman is 44 years old, and Misty Wentworth. Both Amy and Tammy lived together as adults for a considerable amount of time. She had restricted mobility before beginning her effort to lose weight because she weighed more than 600 pounds before she started her adventure. She was in need of a great deal of assistance, and Amy was there to provide so. In the aftermath of Amy's wedding, Tammy relocated to the next-door apartment where she continued to rely on Amy and Michael for assistance. As a result of the divorce that Amy and Michael went through in 2023, Amy even resided with Tammy for a period of time, accompanied by her 2 sons. Because Amy and Tammy have spent more time together than the majority of sisters will ever experience, their bond is one of a kind on many different levels. The paths that Amy and Tammy have traveled have been distinct. In spite of the fact that they are sisters, Amy and Tammy have always kept their paces different from one another. Over 400 pounds was the weight that Amy was carrying when she made her debut on television. During the first season of 1,000-Pound Sisters, she underwent bariatric surgery in order to achieve her goal of becoming healthy enough to have children. She then immediately began her journey toward achieving her goal of becoming more physically fit and healthy. As time went on, she was able to fulfill her desire of being a mother by giving birth to 2 sons, namely Gage and Glenn Halterman, who were both in good health. The process of losing weight for Tammy was not as straightforward as Amy's. On the other hand, whereas Amy began her journey to lose weight right away at the beginning of the first season of 1,000-Pound Sisters, Tammy had to suffer for years before she finally got started. Additionally, she continued to make poor choices throughout the pilot episode, despite the fact that she weighed more than 600 pounds. It was by the time the 3rd season arrived that Tammy had reached a weight of more than 700 pounds. After reaching her heaviest weight, she would eventually weigh 725 pounds. She appeared to be desiring to give up on life, and she came very close to achieving her goal. Tammy was admitted to the hospital due to a serious health emergency. Tammy came to the realization that her life was in danger when she emerged from the coma that had been induced by medical treatment for a week. It was necessary for her to examine herself in the mirror and make the decision to live, which is exactly what Tammy found herself doing. Following the completion of her treatment for her longtime addiction to food, Tammy underwent bariatric surgery and went on to complete an astounding weight loss of 500 pounds. Tammy was left with a significant amount of loose, extra skin as a result of her extremely rapid weight loss. As a result, Tammy was unable to discover her self-confidence, which eventually reached a boiling point during the girls' night out she had with Amy. Amy and Tammy's time away from the house. Amy and Tammy went out to celebrate their weight loss accomplishments during an episode of the 6th season of the show, which is called 1,000 Pound Sisters. Over the course of their lives, Amy and Tammy have found themselves on divergent courses, and the night provided as an indication of how this has occurred. Despite the fact that they are quite close, the sisters have been working toward their health and fitness goals at different periods. The fact that Amy dropped weight more quickly than Tammy indicates that she is further along in her quest overall. Both Amy and Tammy have been traveling at quite different speeds and embarking on very distinct journeys. In the 6th season of 1,000 Pound Sisters, the sisters went out for a night on the town and leased a limousine for the occasion. Additionally, Amy and Tammy attended a burlesque class together in the evening. They also went out to supper together. The class demonstrated how great the distance between the sisters is on their own trips. Tammy was still uneasy in her own body, in contrast to Amy, who was anxious to strip down to her underwear and deliver her best performance in the dancing class. While Amy was having a good time and dancing, Tammy appeared to be making an effort to vanish. In addition to the fact that she was uncomfortable in her own body, Tammy was irritated with Amy because she was so careless with her own body. It was obvious that she was jealous of Amy. Tammy has been wrestling a great deal as of late. Those who have been watching the show for a long time are familiar with Tammy's rage. The 1,000 Pound Sisters star from season 6 has never been one to back down from a confrontation and has always been known to have a fiery temper. In season 6, Tammy's most significant conflict was with her other sister, Amanda, who she had a tremendous dispute with. Following a disagreement regarding a rental agreement, the sisters' silence lasted for several months. Amanda and Tammy have reconciled their differences since then, but it won't be long until Tammy gets into another argument with her cousins and siblings. As long as Tammy continues to feel uneasy in her own flesh, she will never be able to achieve satisfaction in her life. Tammy Slaton, 38 years of age. 500 pounds were lost. Amy Slaton, 37 years of age. 169 pounds were lost. Chris Combs, 44 years of age. Lost 150 pounds. Amanda Halterman, 44 years of age. 31 pounds were lost. Misty Slaton Wentworth, 48 years of age. 74 pounds were lost. Brittany Combs, 36 years of age. Not known. 1,000 Pound Sisters, the reality TV series that chronicles the lives of siblings Amy and Tammy Slaton, has captured the hearts of many viewers since its debut. The series follows their dramatic weight loss journeys, struggles with personal health, and the complicated relationship dynamics between the sisters. In one of the most talked about moments of the show, the sisters' relationship reached a boiling point during a limousine ride in an episode that left fans wondering whether this incident could signal the beginning of a permanent rift between the Slaton sisters, or worse, the end of the show. As with many reality TV shows, drama is expected, but the deep-rooted tensions between Amy and Tammy have been building for a long time. What makes this particular fight significant is not just the altercation itself, but the underlying issues that have plagued their relationship from the very beginning. Amy and Tammy's personalities, goals, and coping mechanisms often clash, resulting in moments of tension and conflict that viewers find both riveting and heartbreaking. In this article, we will dive deep into the limousine fight, the history of Amy and Tammy's relationship, what might have led to the heated argument, and the potential long-term consequences for the show. Could the sisters be growing apart for good? And could this incident ultimately lead to the show's cancellation? Let's explore all angles of this explosive moment. The rise of the Slaton sisters. Before diving into the specifics of the limousine fight, it's important to understand the journey of Amy and Tammy Slaton. The sisters from Dixon, Kentucky, were known for their unique personalities, large size, and frank approach to discussing their weight issues. They became social media stars before transitioning to a reality television series, 1,000-Pound Sisters, where their weight struggles and the challenges they faced to lose weight were documented. From the outset, the show highlighted the sisters' contrasting approaches to health and weight loss. Amy was more determined and disciplined, showing a willingness to follow medical advice and push herself to achieve her goals. Tammy, on the other hand, struggled more with motivation and often resisted the help of doctors, resulting in her being more dependent on her sister for support. This dichotomy between the two is at the heart of their complex relationship. While Amy tries to stay positive and make strides in her weight loss, Tammy often falls back into old habits. The friction caused by these differing mindsets has made their journey both compelling and dramatic, but also fraught with tension. The limousine fight. The build-up. In the episode that sparked headlines, Amy and Tammy were involved in a heated argument during a limousine ride. The moment was shocking to viewers because it marked a rare instance where the two sisters openly clashed in such an intense way. While it is not uncommon for siblings to argue, the confrontation in the limo felt like a culmination of months, if not years, of unresolved issues. The fight was triggered during an event where the sisters were supposed to be celebrating some progress in their weight loss journeys and other personal achievements. Instead of enjoying the moment, things quickly escalated when Tammy made a remark that seemed to trigger Amy's frustration. According to sources close to the show, the comment was one of many that seemed to undermine Amy's attempts at bettering herself and, by extension, her relationship with her sister. Amy had made significant progress with her weight loss, and her desire for change had become more evident in recent seasons. However, Tammy's continued refusal to follow through with her weight loss plan seemed to put a strain on their relationship. Amy's frustration with Tammy's lack of commitment to her own health was palpable. In a highly emotional moment during the limousine ride, Amy vented her frustrations, which led to a verbal altercation between the two. Tammy, on the other hand, expressed feeling hurt by Amy's criticism and the way Amy seemed to take on a superior role in their relationship. Tammy has always been more resistant to advice and help, which has made her more defensive when it comes to her sister's attempts to push her toward healthier choices. The argument quickly spiraled, with accusations flying on both sides, leaving viewers stunned. What led to the fight? While the limousine altercation was intense, it's clear that there were several underlying issues that contributed to the fight. One of the main factors was the growing emotional and psychological divide between the two sisters. Different attitudes toward weight loss over the course of the series, it became evident that Amy and Tammy had different motivations and attitudes toward losing weight. Amy was more focused on taking control of her life and health, especially as she became a mother. She had successfully undergone bariatric surgery, which helped her shed a significant amount of weight, and she was committed to maintaining a healthier lifestyle for her family's sake. However, Tammy, who struggled more with her health, often found it difficult to stick to the programs and routines designed to help her lose weight. This disparity between the sisters' success and their weight loss journeys created a sense of tension. Amy would often try to motivate Tammy, but the latter's resistance to change became a major source of frustration for Amy. The continued contrast between Amy's progress and Tammy's stagnation could have contributed to the simmering tensions that erupted during the limousine fight. The strain of caregiving Amy has often been portrayed as the more responsible sibling, and as such, she frequently took on the role of caregiver and emotional support for Tammy. However, as time went on, the demands of caregiving became emotionally draining for Amy. At times, she expressed feeling like she was taking on too much of the responsibility for her sister's health and well-being. Tammy's inability to fully commit to her own self-improvement left Amy feeling unsupported and overwhelmed. In turn, Tammy likely felt guilt and resentment for not being able to make the progress Amy hoped for her. The resulting emotional strain built up over time, culminating in the explosive argument in the limousine. Tammy's reluctance to change was another key factor in the argument. Throughout the show, Tammy has been shown to reject medical advice and show defiance when it comes to making changes to her lifestyle. While Amy actively sought ways to improve her health, Tammy's resistance created an emotional gap between them. It became increasingly difficult for Amy to support her sister when she didn't seem motivated to help herself. This push and pull dynamic has often left Amy frustrated, as she was trying to be the responsible sister while feeling like her own needs were being ignored in favor of Tammy's continued unhealthy habits. Could this end the show? Given the gravity of the limousine altercation, many fans are left wondering if this conflict signals the end of 1,000-pound sisters. Could the rift between the two sisters be so deep that it would result in the show's cancellation? While it's hard to predict the future of the show, there are several factors that could influence its fate. Viewer engagement: fans have invested heavily in Amy and Tammy's journey, and their relationship is a central element of the show's success. If the sisters continue to grow apart or if their relationship becomes too strained to document, it could cause a decline in viewer engagement. Reality TV thrives on the personalities of its stars, and if that chemistry is no longer present, the audience might lose interest. Tammy's health: another key factor in the show's future is Tammy's health. Throughout the series, Tammy's weight and health have been central to the narrative. Her struggles with weight loss and the subsequent health complications have kept viewers invested in her journey. However, if her health deteriorates further or if she continues to resist medical advice, it may result in fewer storylines for the show to explore. If Tammy's story reaches an endpoint due to health complications or personal decisions, it could signal the natural conclusion of the series. On the other hand, if she does experience significant growth or change, it could provide fresh material for future seasons. Amy's future goals: Amy's own personal journey will also play a role in the direction of the show. If Amy continues to make progress in her life and health, she may choose to focus more on her family and her own future rather than her sister's struggles. Amy has already demonstrated her ability to succeed on her own, and the dynamics of the show may shift to focus more on her individual story. The limousine fight between Amy and Tammy Slaton was a moment of heightened tension in the ongoing saga of their lives. While the fight itself may have shocked viewers, it was merely a reflection of the deep-seated issues between the two sisters. The episode raised questions about the future of their relationship and whether it could ultimately lead to the end of the show. Though the sisters have experienced ups and downs in the past, this latest argument shows just how much their personal struggles are affecting their relationship. Only time will tell if they can rebuild their bond or if they will continue to grow apart. Regardless of what happens, the story of Amy and Tammy Slaton has captivated audiences, and their journey, whether together or apart, will continue to inspire and entertain.